Hello, everybody. We're just taking a few minutes to let everybody arrive. It's nice to see you all. Okay, hope everybody's having a good evening tonight. Or I know we have people coming from the UK, and somebody else messaged me that it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so we really appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. If you have a pen and paper handy or a journal and a candle nearby. Yes, already, great. Okay, let's get started. So here we are tonight for the Soul Voice activation. I just want to welcome you all. I see some new faces here, which is very exciting. It's our first time getting together for the Soul Voice since we opened up the community, and we're so excited. I think we're at 112 people now, so we're growing and growing every day, and we love seeing all these faces and sharing our Mary stories with each other. So thank you so much. There is so many things to look at in the membership, so feel free, go poke around in the classroom. There's lots of good things in there, and if you're looking for something in particular, feel free to reach out to any one of us. We can help you at any time, and we're constantly adding things, so you're going to see new things coming up as well. So this is a practice that we've been doing for a while, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it and just explain what it is. So the practice came out of years of reading a lot about Mary Magdalene, being in circle, and really listening to one another, especially while we were reading the Megan Waterson's Mary Magdalene Revealed. It was a book that four of us were reading around the same time, and we kind of came together over the book, and we started our own type of circle, and we started really picking apart all of the texts that were in there. And then one thing led to another, and we read the Gospel of Mary, which is incredible. If you have time to do it, I would highly suggest digging into that. There's a few really I want to say, which one was the one we just read that we really enjoyed? I'll make a list of them because we have read it in a few different books. So some
It
of
was
them,
like Jean-Lalou. Was that the
Yeah,
that was one.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But there's quite a few of them, and they're all like similar but slight differences. So I think I might put together like a comparison so you can kind of choose which one is more in line with what you're thinking. But that is where we came up with the soul voice. It's something about really just getting in touch with your intuition, and that voice that you always hear is always talking to you. There's like an egoic voice, but there's also your soul voice, and your soul voice is so much smarter than our ego voices that tell us, "Joe, have that cake, do that, go out, drink all night, you'll be fine." Our soul voice, if you can really quiet everything else down, your soul voice will really tell you what you need to hear. So that's why we really enjoy that. And it is a practice that we use in all of our other programs as well. So this is kind of a basic, going through it, the basics tonight. So we keep coming back to the idea that Mary wasn't just teaching people what to believe. She was teaching them how to listen to what is inside themselves. And as religion kind of set things that it was outside of us, it was always something else. It's the church, it's Jesus. When in reality, what Mary was telling us is that we have the power within ourselves. We don't have to go to the church, and we don't have to do those things. We have that power of intuition within ourselves. So that's what the soul voice is talking about. So it's called intuition. Some people want to refer to it as a Holy Spirit, the voice of God, goddess, or inner knowing. We're all really talking about the same thing. So you can call it whatever feels true to you. What matters most is that it's part of you that already knows. So it's older than your thoughts. It holds wisdom your mind can't even explain. Sometimes you'll get messages and not even understand where that could be coming from, or it'll be about something that happened in a previous life, and you're like, I don't even know I had a previous life. So it has a lot more information than we even know until we start really digging at it. Our minds are shaped by our families, religion, culture, and the systems that we grow up around. That's what we walk around with. Our egos hold all of that information, and that's what we act upon. We have these, I guess they're like preconceived ideas, because our minds are filled with the people around us. We're learning from everyone else. When we talk about religion, most of us don't wake up, at 6 years old and say, I want to be Catholic, like I did. Most people are born into their religion, and we just learn from our parents, and we're told this is what it is. We believe this, and you're also kind of, I'm not sure if you're actually told it or it's like an understanding of that. You don't question that. Like, even questioning religion is like you're threatening, doing something bad. You should never ask about religion. It's like you just kind of go with the flow, and you're like, hey, whatever everybody told me, I'm not going to put my neck on the chopping block and ask, like, did Jesus ever have sex? I couldn't imagine ever asking anything like that. So that's why we're so shocked when we hear all these things, because our minds are just so convinced that nothing other than what we have read in the Bible happened. But for myself, and a lot of you here, say that even as children, we were always questioning, well, what happened to, he just all of a sudden shows up at 32 years old. Like, what did he do his whole life? How did he learn all these things? And we were not really ever asking those questions because we were afraid to ask. So unbeknownst to us, we find out all these other things now, and we're so fascinated by it because we feel that we have this connection to Mary, the Marys. We have two Marys at such opposite ends. We have Mary the Virgin and the other Mary, the whore. So, as women, we feel like we have to choose between one or the other. Are we going to be the virgin, or are we going to be the whore? Well, at this day and age, nobody really wants to be either. But when we were younger, we felt we had to choose one or the other, right? I remember that being distinctly difficult time in a teenager life, trying to be like, oh, but we're supposed to be like the Virgin Mary, so we shouldn't like boys and we shouldn't think of these things. So I think it really confused women, and I think men not so much. I don't think they really cared, but I think it confused us as like, well, which category do I fit into? And so we were kind of always searching for something. So hearing that Mary Magdalene has had a different life than what we had heard is very intriguing to us. We want to know more about her. So, and some of us are literally just called by the Marys to be more involved in raising the feminine. So here we are. Every one of you here, I'm sure, has that feeling. So the soul voice will cut through those ideas that we have shaped in our mind by telling us the truth that's within us. I mean, we are told that if you look at history, women have been told that intuition is not real. Seeing spirits is not real. Ghosts aren't real. Angels aren't real. All these things aren't real. But yet we know that they are real on some level because we even hear people refer to a mother's intuition. A mother knows when something is wrong with her child because she can feel it. So we're constantly told that couldn't be true, but we know it's true. And we had a conversation in one of our groups once about knowing, did you know when you were pregnant? And I think almost all the women said that they knew. They just knew right away. It was like something. That's an intuition that we're born with, but we're constantly told that it's inaccurate, it can't be true, you can't see spirits. Mother Mary won't show up to you unless you're, a priest, a saint, or something like that. So we're finding that's not really the truth. So the soul voice is what really helps us do the work with our egos, our fears, our old patterns, and what has been referred to as demons. So if you're reading the Gospel of Mary, they do talk about she had the 7 demons cast out of her. So demons we refer to as either the egoic powers, we call them initiations, the 7 initiations, and you will find if you start studying religion that almost all religions have the same components, just called different things. So in our case, what we use is we talk about the ego, and this is the way I always explain it. It resonates for me, and hopefully it will resonate for you. I say that we have the ego on one shoulder. That's like the devil. If you remember watching Bugs Bunny, there was an episode where Bugs Bunny had the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, and he was trying to decide what to do. And I always see that in my mind when I think of having the ego on one shoulder, who's telling me to go out, have that cake, do whatever you want. And on the other shoulder, it's my soul voice, who's very quiet, won't say anything unless asked. If asked, then the soul voice will say, you shouldn't have that. You shouldn't go out. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. So we have to really quiet that egoic voice and listen for the soul voice. And the issue is that we are so filled with the ego voice now because of the volume of commercials and media and everything that's like constantly coming at us. It's really hard to shut that down. So at this day and age, it's much harder. We really need to put it into a practice where we do it often enough that it comes naturally to us. So this isn't a one-time practice. This is something I recommend you do a couple of times a week. And it's also one of those things that it gets easier. And the more you do it, the easier it comes. And it's like a muscle. If you exercise, you're going to strengthen your muscle. You keep doing soul voice work and you will be clearing some neural pathways in your mind, and your mind will automatically, instead of going to the ego voice, and if you're faced with a decision, you will start to go to the soul voice for your answers. And I found that to happen to me quite a few times in my life. So, okay, so it's really about, so tonight isn't about getting a specific answer or doing things perfectly. It's about slowing down and listening. So before we begin, I just want to say a couple other things. If I say one more thing, if I say I'm only going to say one more thing, I'm lying because I love to talk. Just so you guys know. Everyone experiences this practice differently. So some people feel a lot. Some people feel very little. Some people receive images, emotions. Some people feel calm. They feel present. They feel vibrations in their bodies. Some people don't feel anything at all, and then the message comes later on. So you just have to have faith in it, surrender to it, and just let it come to you. Whatever comes is okay. So do not worry if you feel nothing. Don't be uncomfortable about that. You will still probably get your message a little later on. If at any point you need to shift your body, take a breath, please do so. You're always in control of your experience. And this practice is of listening with yourself and not pushing past yourself. So tonight, less is more. So before we begin, let's just see. Hang on one second. Okay. Apologize for that. Okay, so also I wanted to mention about Circle. So I love that you're all here. It's totally fine if you're off camera. We are Circle. The Magdalene Network is created through Circle facilitators. Circle facilitators. We love being in Circle. We have found that being in Circle and listening to one another, it really helps us to see our own issues in other people's circumstances. To us, it's our medicine. Seeing each other, communicating with each other, hearing each other's stories, it really helps things come alive for us. Sometimes things that we don't even know are really bothering us, but when we hear it in another, we recognize it in ourselves. So we do a meditation, we do the practice, and then we do like to come off a mute and come on screen, and so that we can share our stories. If you don't feel comfortable with doing that, that's absolutely okay. You do not have to. And the more you're here, the more you'll feel comfortable and want to jump in. So I just wanted to make sure everyone feels comfortable here tonight. So we're just going to pause. This practice exists because many of us are in the middle of awakening. So, and we're not really sure, like this is a big deal right now. There's a mass awakening going on in the world, mostly in women. And we're feeling things and experiencing things, and we're saying, is that real? I'm not sure. I'm afraid to ask my friends if they're feeling it, or we're feeling uncertain. So that is one of the main reasons we really wanted to bring the Magdalene Network together. It's really to support women that are in the process of awakening and would like some camaraderie and ability to speak to others about their experiences and feel comfortable with that and know that they are at home here with us because we're all going through it together. So it's not easy. You can't really talk about that out on Facebook much, and you certainly can't go to your therapist and tell them because they'll think you're crazy. So that's where Magdalene Network comes in. We're a support system for one another. Okay, so Soul Voice is the bridge between awareness and embodiment. And that's how we come back into the body and learn to trust what we're sensing. So we're going to get started now. So before we begin, let's set our intention together. I invite everyone to take a deep breath with me and just arrive here. And if you haven't already, let's light our candles. Okay. Tonight we call in the presence of Mary Magdalene, teacher of the inner knowing, holder of wisdom that lives in the body and the heart. We call in Mother Mary, the Great Mother, the one who holds grief, love, devotion, and strength all at once. We call in the women of the lineage, the Marys of the Bible, the unnamed women, the women whose voices were silenced, hidden, or rewritten. We honor the Magdalene spirit that lives in all of us. We acknowledge that we are not here to worship outside ourselves. but to remember what has always lived within us. We set the intention tonight to listen, to soften, to return to the truth that lives in the body and the heart. May this space be safe. May it be honest. May it be grounded in love rather than fear. We dedicate this practice to the return of the divine feminine, not as something separate from us, but as something we embody through listening, choice, and care. We remember that we are not alone. We are walking this path together. And so it is. Okay, let's get comfortable. I'm going to put on a little music in the background. I'll keep it nice and low. Okay, let's begin by settling into the body. Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, letting your body know you have arrived. There's no need to stop your thoughts. Just notice them, like leaves floating down a stream. Let them pass. Take another deep breath in through the nose and release it slowly through the mouth with an audible sound. The sound that lets the body know we're releasing what doesn't need attention right now. Wherever you are, begin to feel the surface beneath you. Your feet on the floor or a place where your body meets the ground. Notice the sensations there. Is it warm, cool, soft, firm? Now imagine roots growing from that place. Your feet, your seat, or your back, reaching down deep into the earth. They move through the layers of soil and stone, intertwining with the roots of other trees. Notice how the roots support one another. As above, so below. Just as the trees draw nourishment from the earth to grow and shelter what surrounds them, so do we. See these roots as your connection to inherited intuition, your divine feminine wisdom. They reach into the crystal core of Mother Earth, drawing that energy upwards, up through the layers of earth and into your body. Feeling the crystal light swirling gently within you, in your legs, your thighs, your abdomen, your torso, your chest, your arms, your back, your head. Feel them swirling around. Now in your mind's eye, raise your hands up towards the sky. Bring awareness to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. You may gently tap here to keep your focus. Imagine gathering a golden light of Christ consciousness, warm, radiant, and expansive, in your hands that are above your head in your mind's eye, like you're holding a ball of light energy. Pull that ball of energy down into the crown of your head, into your third eye, into your throat, and down into your heart. Place one hand on your heart and feel the two energies, earth and light, meeting there, swirling together. Mother Earth's crystal core and Christ consciousness light meeting together and alchemizing and activating the eye of the heart. Notice the light now radiating outward from you, through your hands, your feet, even your hair. Feel yourself held within this field. You are safe here. Allow your body to soften and rest, feeling gently into the quantum field where you may encounter your soul self. Just notice what you notice. See what you see, hear what you hear, and feel what you feel. There's no right way to do this, no wrong way. If your mind wanders, that's okay. We're just noticing. Bring one hand to your chest and one to your lower belly. Feel the warmth in your hands. Feel the weight of your body being held. With the hand on your heart, feel for your heartbeat. Notice the density, the steadiness, the wholeness of the heart. The heart is where the treasure lies. What you seek is already within you. Now that your heart has been activated by the energies of earth and light, we're ready to deepen the connection. Stay here for a few moments. Notice any sensations, tightness, softness. There's no need to label anything as good or bad. Just sit with what's present. Now we'll invite in the soul voice. Silently welcome your soul voice as we move into inquiry. For now, we'll keep the questions simple, though this technique can be used later for anything you wish to explore. This is not a question asked with the mind, it's an invitation offered inwardly. So silently ask, what do I need to know right now? Or what wants my attention? Then wait. Listening doesn't always come as words. It may arrive as a feeling, an image, a memory, or a sensation. Whatever arises is welcome. If nothing happens, that's also information. There's nothing wrong with that. Stay curious. Stay kind to yourself. If something arises, notice how your body responds. Does it soften, tighten, breathe differently? Your body helps interpret the soul's voice. There's nothing to analyze or understand right now. Just notice. I'm going to allow a few minutes to receive. I will be silent here for a few moments. Okay, let's gently begin to bring our awareness back into the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes if that feels supportive. Take your time reorienting, coming back. When everyone is back, we're going to grab our journals and our pens. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to play some music for you. We're going to take a few moments for you to jot down in your journal anything that came up for you. You can free write because sometimes things will come up after, just as you're writing. This is really for you. You can write it any way you feel. And I will play some music here for us. We'll take about 5 minutes. Okay, about one more minute. Okay. So, if anyone feels like sharing, I just wanted to give you a couple of rules that we use during Circle. We don't offer advice to anyone. We're just here to simply witness. And when anybody speaks, when they're done, we raise our hands to just show them this is support for them. We're sending them positive energy and love. For sharing. Okay, thank you for showing up for yourselves tonight. Be gentle with yourself after the practice. Make sure you drink some water and you rest. And keep an eye out. Notice what unfolds. Maybe tonight you'll have some dreams and something will come out of that too. So you may find clarity comes later, sometimes over the next few days. You've opened some new neural pathways that allow intuition and inner knowing to surface naturally. We're not here to get answers, we're just here to learn how to listen. So this is a practice we return to again and again inside Magdalene Network. We do this every second Wednesday of the month. We get together for this. And this is not just to force insight, but just to build trust in what we're hearing and what we're feeling. So if you're called to, you're welcome to share your experience in on the page in like announcements or something like that. I'll put something up and we can say, if you feel like sharing your experience, then others can maybe see what you were experiencing. It really does help. Like I had mentioned before, we are reflections of each other. So sometimes people will see in themselves something that you put forward. We want it to be a close community. And so things like that really help us. And deep gratitude for being here and your role in the uplifting of humanity and the return of the divine feminine. I'm so grateful for everyone who showed tonight. I will have this posted for you. Also, if you want to continue the practice in the classroom, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with the school program, but if you go in the classroom, there is other soul voice lessons that are listed. So you could try some other ones if you wanted to during the week and whatnot. But I'm so grateful for anybody that was here. I do apologize. There were a few people that came late. I didn't want to distract anyone. So after a few minutes, we shut the door on that. But thank you so much for coming. Love to all of you sisters. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Sandy. That was wonderful.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sandy. Love you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Blessings from Brazil for all of us.
Lots of love.